Hi, I'm Dustin Saldariaga, an immigration lawyer with Scout Legal PC in New York City, and in this video I'll be talking about the E-2 visa. It's one of our firm's most popular visa options and also happens to be the visa our firm's founder was on when he started the company. I'll walk you through why we think the E-2 visa continues to be one of the best options for those who own or want to own a business in the United States, and I'll share with you in very broad strokes how you can successfully navigate the application process. For a much deeper dive on the E-2 visa requirements, check out our full webinar on the E-2 visa, which we've posted to our YouTube channel and will link to below. Also, on our firm's blog, we've published hundreds of posts on the nuances of the E-2 visa. We'll include a link to our blog below as well. Finally, none of this information is a replacement for a qualified immigration lawyer who can guide you through the E-2 process and help you navigate any risks. So why is the E-2 visa such an important visa to know about? The E-2 visa is often the ideal option for entrepreneurs who want to start or grow a business in the United States, whether they have a startup, are opening a franchise, or are buying an existing business. Our clients have done many things with their E-2 visas, from running a convenience store to starting a tattoo parlor, creating a software company startup, or opening a home cleaning franchise. The E-2 visa can be issued for up to 5 years, and although it's not a green card, it can be renewed indefinitely. There are no educational requirements that the applicant must meet, and there's no huge investment that's required as there would be, say, for an EB-5 green card, also known as the millionaire's green card. The E-2 is really a visa meant for the foreign entrepreneur who has a great business idea and the drive and qualifications to develop it. The entrepreneur's family also receives benefits. Their spouse can work and study in the US, and their children can enroll in school. Now, not everyone qualifies for an E-2 visa. The first requirement is that you must be a citizen of a country that has a treaty with the United States. We call these E-2 treaty countries. Fortunately, there are dozens of E-2 treaty countries, including Argentina, Australia, Canada, Colombia, Egypt, Ethiopia, France, Germany, Italy, Israel, Japan, Norway, Pakistan, the Philippines, Singapore, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Thailand, Turkey, the UK, and I could keep going, but this is just a fraction of the countries on the list. You can check out the complete list of E-2 countries on the Department of State's website, which we'll link to below. 2 countries that are not on the list of E-2 countries are China and India. Just to give you a sense of how attractive the E-2 visa is, there are many people who are not citizens of an E-2 country who apply for citizenship in a country that is, mainly so that they can apply for the E-2 visa. So let's say you already have a passport from one of the many E-2 countries. What else do you need in order to qualify for an E-2 investor visa? In summary, you need to be at least 50% owner of a company in the United States. This could be a simple LLC or a corporation, for example. Next, you need to invest in the business and get it as close to operational as possible. This could mean renting an office space, buying computers and phones, creating a website, possibly hiring someone to design your website, and buying any equipment, supplies, and inventory the business will need. You'll also have marketing fees, legal fees, and fees to set up the business. Many people wonder how much money they need to spend on the business. While $50,000 to $100,000 is usually a minimum target to spend, a good rule of thumb is to buy the things that the business will need to operate. A qualified lawyer can discuss with you whether your investment amount is likely to be sufficient given the nature of your business. Also, if you're concerned about spending so much money before you get a visa, you do have the option of using an escrow account that will only release your funds once you receive your visa. This is a form of protection that many applicants prefer, particularly if they're purchasing an existing business. It's worth noting that you generally don't need to physically be in the US to take any of these steps. It's usually possible to set up a US company, open a business bank account, execute a lease, and buy supplies and equipment from outside the US. Also, keep your records organized and in a safe place. The government will want to see where the money you invested came from and that you got it through legal means, like working, receiving a gift or a loan, or selling property, for example. All right, so you've invested money into your business. What else do you need to do to apply for an E-2 investor visa? It's important that you're able to show that your company will employ at least 3 US workers within a 5-year period. If you're buying an existing company, the business might already employ 3 people, and you would include the company's tax and payroll records with your application. If you're creating a startup, on the other hand, you would include a business plan that shows hiring projections for the next 5 years. And with that, you have the basis for your E-2 application. Most people apply for their E-2 visa at a consulate, which, if it's approved, would allow them multiple entries into the United States for up to 5 years. And as mentioned before, the visa can be renewed indefinitely as long as they continue employing US workers and otherwise remain eligible. The processing times at consulates vary widely, especially since the COVID-19 pandemic has created backlogs at consulates around the world. However, we are seeing that some consulates are processing E-2 visas in as little as a month from the time the application is submitted. For those who are already inside the US on another visa, say an H-1B visa or an F-1 student visa, there is the option to apply for a change to E-2 status without leaving the US. If approved, this would give the applicant 2 years of E-2 status, but since this is not a visa, they would need to apply for a visa at a consulate if they plan to leave and re-enter the US in E-2 status. For this reason, applicants usually prefer to simply apply at a consulate. And that, in very broad terms, is the general process for how to pull together an E-2 application. Again, it's important to emphasize that we do recommend that applicants have an experienced immigration lawyer to work with them throughout the application process. While the broad steps are mostly straightforward, there are a number of nuances that are important to keep in mind and that differ depending on where you apply. Each consulate has its own specific preferences, and USCIS does as well. But for those who have been dreaming about building a business in the United States and who have the drive and qualifications to do so, the E-2 visa could be a great fit that may well be within reach. We hope this video was helpful. If it was, please help us out and click the like and subscribe buttons below to stay updated on future videos about visa options and travel to the US. Thanks for watching.